Hi, I'm Amy with Cincy Chic, and I'm here with the person that doesn't even need an introduction, but I'll go ahead anyways. Clinton Kelly, and you're here in Cincinnati, the Kenwood Town Center, Macys.
Yeah.
Tell us what just happened.
This was my sixth stop of the 2010 Clinton Kelly and Macys, or Macys and Clinton Kelly Makeover America. And so yesterday I made over 12 women, and today I used them as models in a runway show, and it was awesome. It was so much fun.
Oh my gosh. So we talked a little bit about this before in the blog, and you got a really wide variety of 12 different women,
Yeah.
all different walks of life, all different shapes and proportions, and it just was a really great variety. So tell me about the makeover that happened yesterday.
Yeah, well, yesterday we basically we started at 10 o'clock in the morning and we ended at about 6:30 at night. So it was a long day of making over women one after the other, and we started out with bra fittings, and then we did shapewear in case we needed it, depending on the outfit that they ended up with.
Right.
Then we tried on a ton of clothes, and when we found the outfit that worked, then we went to find shoes that went with it. And after we had shoes, then you can do tailoring, because you know what your hems have to be like after that. Then it's bags, and then it's jewelry, and then they had their hair and their makeup done.
Oh my gosh, big day for them yesterday.
Huge, yeah, it was great.
Well, and I noticed that you started with the bra fitting.
Yes.
Tell us about the importance of that. It sounds like a really great foundation to start with.
Yeah, you basically have to. You have to get the bust sort of halfway between the shoulder and the elbow. That's the general place that you want it, only because when you're clothed, look, if they're not there when you're naked, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to clothes, that's where clothes are designed to have the bust be, so because clothes are designed on a dress form, that's where the bust is. So if your boobs are down here in the wrong bra, then clothes aren't going to fit you correctly. So you have to start with the proper bra. And 9 times out of 10, a woman has no idea what her bra size is. We found that just about every time a woman is bigger in the cup and smaller in the band than she thought she was.
So that's all good news.
Yeah, that is good news.
Yeah.
Like the Cincinnati girls have been raised at least 24 boobs are higher in Cincinnati thanks to me.
Well, that's good. That's good. One boob at a time. Really taking it.
Saving the world one boob at a time. Well, usually 2 at a time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, great. Well, and the gals got to be the models, and this is something that you said was really important because in years past they've all been professional models who have been on the runway, and you said, you know what? I think that women will really be more in tune with this show if they can relate to the real women that are there.
Well, that's the point. I want every woman in the audience to be able to relate to at least one of those models. And there's something about like I will say not anybody can dress a model, but it's easier to dress a model. I mean, models for the most part have hourglass shapes, and that's what clothes are designed to go on. So it's easier to dress models. So I don't think that the people in the audience sort of respect you as much when you dress models as they can when you dress real people.
Right.
Because women have lumps and bumps and are different proportions, and so I want to show people that no matter what your proportions, you can really look fantastic. And so it allows me the opportunity to give more advice about dressing your body when I can say, look, she carries her weight in her bust, or she carries her weight in her tummy, or she carries her weight in her tush. So then that way the women in the audience with tushes and tummies and busts can sort of make that sink in a little bit more.
Right. Great. Well, and I'm just going to go on the cuff right here, and because I'm a real woman, and maybe give some advice based on my my shape and everything.
Okay.
What are some things that you would give me as advice?
Well, give me a little spin. All right, well, I'll tell you right now, it looks to me that you have a very well-proportioned hourglass shape. And when you do have an hourglass shape, it's really important to emphasize the waist, which is what you've done with this great belt. So I think that was a really good move for you. And you have a decent-sized chest. So the thing is, if you don't emphasize the waist when you have a large bust, what happens is you get a lot of volume a lot of times in the midsection, and that makes you look bigger overall.
Right.
So this is showing off your hourglass shape. So I think you're doing great here. I mean, you are doing a skinny jean, which a skinny jean always does put more emphasis on the hip, thigh, and tush. But I really feel like it's okay here because you've created a nice curvy shape. You have the waist, so you've given yourself the hourglass. So that works. Yeah.
Great, because I know that I was a little afraid to do the skinny jean, and I gave it a try. So I wanted to ask your advice. I was really nervous about that.
Well, I will tell you that more women can do a skinny jean than they think can do a skinny jean. But it's really a matter of accentuating the waist and then also making sure there's balance between the upper half and the lower half. Because you're doing a little cap sleeve here and this little short sleeve. This actually helps balance the hip out. So you added more volume to the shoulder, which balances out the extra emphasis that you created on your hip and thigh area, and then you have the narrow waist. So you've got that.
Well, that's good.
Yes,
that's what we
good.
all aspire
That's
for. Well, that's good. I wanted to ask you, just on the fly, what you would do. What are some of the trends that we're seeing? Because sometimes it's difficult to wear the trends. Like I really struggled with the skinny jean.
Yep.
And so what are some trends that are coming about right now, and how can real women wear them?
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I don't really focus on trend. You know, it's like one of those things that it's just not my. It's not that it's not my area of expertise. I'm just not passionate about trends. I'm really passionate about dressing women, and real women at that. And so, you know, trends come by and I'm like, oh, that's a trend. Like bright yellow is a trend, and skinny jeans are a trend, and big bold prints are a trend this season. And you know, cage sandals and all of that. Those are great trends. But I never really get caught up in them. You know, I feel like some fashion people can like list off 20 trends of any given season. I'm always hard pressed to think of 4. You know, so but I think that, you know, in general, women have to realize that when you're in your 20s, early 30s, that's the time to be doing trends. But just because you're not in that age group, you can still do trends. I mean, you don't have to feel as though the trends are just for the young girls or girls with perfect bodies. And you have to just ask yourself, you know, after a certain age, I always say that there are 4 things you need to ask yourself. Does the trend show too much cleavage? Does the trend show too much leg? If so, just let it pass by. Does the trend involve your navel? Say bye-bye to it. And does the trend look like a trend that a hooker might participate in? You know, and if so,
hookers are out of style.
Hookers are always out of style.
Yeah.
So let those go. But any other trend is a trend that would be open to a woman regardless of her age. And then what you want to make sure is that you're pairing sort of trends with classic pieces, so that you don't look like a trend hoe.
Yeah.
You know, because I think it's one thing for a 21-year-old girl to do head-to-toe trends, and I feel like when a 50-year-old does head-to-toe trends, it's starting to look like it's forced.
Yeah. So you believe more in the classics.
Yes.
I mean, obviously you've got a pocket square here, so there's a lot of classics going on right here.
Yeah, but you know, my own spin on it is
You
to mix
do.
as many patterns as possible.
I like
That's what
it.
makes me happy these days.
Yeah. Hey, you look very spring-like.
Thank you.
It's good.
Thank you. I was thinking I should have gone with a brighter color, but you know what? It's fine.
Hey, you're Clinton Kelly. You can do whatever you want.
Whatever I want. Thank you very much.
Now, all the ladies that were on the runway today, they were all wearing Macy's stuff.
Yes, everything, head to toe Macy's.
So they even have shapewear. I didn't know they had shapewear.
Yeah, we do have shapewear here at Macy's. So we have a bunch of different brands.
Great.
Not every woman ended up wearing the shapewear, but you know, they were all fitted for the shapewear. Because if you are wearing something shiny or something close to the body,
Yeah.
or both, you know, that's when you really need shapewear.
Right.
So we just have that just in case.
Right, and I know a lot of my girlfriends who, I think people associate that you have to have lumps and bumps here and there to have shapewear, but I know some gals that are so trim, but they wear shapewear just to make it lie just so perfectly on their body.
That's really what it is. And I'll tell you, look, if you have little lumps and bumps here and there, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
I work with models who are size 0, size 2, and they can have a little cottage cheese on the back of the leg. It's just the way human bodies are. I mean, that's what it is. We're not perfect, but you want to give the illusion that you are.
Right,
that you are
exactly.
perfect. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's been so great talking with you, and thank you so much for coming in and making over 12 local ladies, and hopefully a lot of people related to the 12 women that they saw on the runway today. And I hope you enjoyed Cincinnati while you were
It's
here.
been great. Everybody's been awesome. Like all 12 of the women were nice and normal, which doesn't always happen every week.
I know, I watch your show. Well, thank you so much, and we'll do a recap on Cincy Chic and Cincinnati.com/LOL.